Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've never seen anything like this. I've watched hundreds of trades, analyzed thousands of prospects, and been inside NFL front offices more times than I can count. But what's happening right now? This, my friends, is straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. Something so massive, so unprecedented, it threatens to shake the very foundation of the NFL. And I guarantee what you're about to hear isn't just speculation. This is the real deal, the inside scoop, the kind of intel that only a few privileged insiders are privy to. But here's the kicker, it's not fully done yet, not by a long shot. What I can tell you is the pieces are moving, the chessboard is being set, and the players involved, well, they're the best of the best. So buckle up, because if you think the 2026 NFL offseason is going to be normal, you're dead wrong. This, my friends, is a story that will redefine everything you thought you knew about NFL trades, especially when it involves one of the league's brightest young stars and a franchise desperate to break free from mediocrity. But first, before I unleash the details, if you want to be truly in the know, if you want to see the game from the inside, I urge you, no, I demand you to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on the notification bell. Why? Because only those who are truly connected get the full picture. And trust me, what I'm about to reveal is just the tip of the iceberg. Those who stay silent will be left in the dark as this story unfolds. So, get ready. Your inside source is about to drop a bombshell that will blow your mind, and it's only beginning. Now, let's set the stage. The Chicago Bears, as of January 29, 2026, are in the middle of an era of transformation. Coach Ben Johnson, fresh off his first full season at the helm, has taken a franchise that was considered a punching bag just a year ago and turned it into a rising powerhouse. And their strategy: build through the draft, develop young talent, and strategically add pieces via free agency and trades. But what if I told you there was a move so bold, so audacious, that it could send shockwaves through the NFL? A move that would instantly vault the Bears into championship contention. Well, that's exactly what's happening behind closed doors as I speak. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The target. A young cornerback who's already made waves with his elite talent, his game-changing interceptions, and his reputation as one of the best young shutdown corners in the league. Derek Stingley Jr. of the Houston Texans. Yes, you heard that right. Derek Stingley is on the verge of an earth-shaking trade. But why? How? And what's the real motive behind this potential blockbuster? Let's break it down. But before we do, I want you to understand this isn't just about Stingley. This is about a team that's desperate to take the next step, about a front office that's willing to move mountains for a shot at glory. So what makes Stingley the perfect candidate? Well, let's dive deep. At just 24 years old, he's already established himself as one of the league's premier covermen. Since entering the NFL as a top 3 pick in the 2022 draft, he's shown flashes of brilliance. His rookie season was interrupted by injury, but he still managed to rack up 33 solo tackles, 5 interceptions, and a league-leading 13 pass deflections in just 9 games. That's the kind of playmaking ability that can transform a secondary overnight. And in 2025, his Pro Bowl year, Stingley raised his game to an entirely new level, anchoring the Texans' defense with relentless coverage and producing 5 interceptions, more than most starting cornerbacks in the league, and solidifying his reputation as a lockdown talent. But here's the catch. Houston is at a crossroads. They've invested heavy in their young secondary core, drafting P.J. Mustipher, drafting C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and developing Kamori Lassiter, a rising star in his own right. The Texans are rebuilding. They're trying to retool around their franchise quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and they need draft capital and salary cap space to make those moves. And surprisingly, Stingley's name has started surfacing in trade rumors. Why? Because while he's a star in the making, Houston's front office is reportedly open to moving him if the right offer comes along. They're seeking a package that can accelerate their rebuild, and that package might include multiple high draft picks plus a solid veteran or two. Now, let's analyze the team needs in Chicago and why they're so obsessed with this move. The Bears, as of this moment post-2025 season, are riding a wave of optimism but still face glaring weaknesses. Their secondary, under the guidance of Coach Johnson and defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, who's apparently in line to stay, needs a true game changer. They've got Jaylon Johnson, a solid shutdown corner, but injuries and inconsistency plagued their coverage units in 2025. Kyler Gordon, their other top corner, also dealt with injuries, and the reliance on inexperienced or backup players like Nahshon Wright and C.J. Gardner-Johnson created exploitable gaps. Film studies from the past season reveal that the Bears' secondary was often caught in miscommunications, especially against vertical routes and big play threats. Their opponents exploited those weaknesses badly. The analytics tell a similar story. The Bears ranked in the bottom third in yards allowed per pass attempt and had one of the highest opponent passer ratings in the league. It's clear their secondary needs an upgrade, the perfect solution. A lockdown CB who can shut down the league's top receivers, create turnovers, and elevate the entire unit. That's where Derek Stingley Jr. comes in. Now here's the critical question: why Stingley? Because he's not just a talented young corner, he's the type of player who can flip a defense on its head. His smooth hips, elite ball skills, and innate ability to read routes make him a nightmare matchup. His advanced metrics from 2025, an expected completion rate on his coverage zone of just 45%, a passer rating allowed of under 65, place him among the league's elite. His coverage win rate, over 55%. Scouts rave about his footwork, his instincts, and his ability to close space faster than almost anyone in the league. Plus, he's just entering his prime, meaning the Bears could lock him up as their CB1 for the next 5 years. And wait, there's more. Industry insiders whisper that the Bears see Stingley as a catalyst. They believe that acquiring him could be the missing piece that vaults their defense from fringe playoff contender to legit Super Bowl favorite. With a young core of Caleb Williams, Darnell Mooney, and a developing offensive line, adding a true shutdown corner like Stingley, imagine the possibilities. Not only does it upgrade the secondary, but it sends a message: the Bears are back. They're not just rebuilding, they're competing for championships now. But how would the trade actually work? That's where the mechanics come into play. The Texans want premium draft capital, probably multiple first-round picks, possibly a future second or third rounder, and maybe a promising young player or two. Houston's front office, led by GM Nick Caserio, is known for its shrewd deals, but also for holding out for max value. Given Stingley's age and talent, the Bears would need to offer at least 2 first-round picks, a high-upside player like Jamar Chase or Jalen Hyatt, and perhaps a future mid-round pick to tip the scales. Cap-wise, Stingley's current contract is just about to hit its peak, with a fully guaranteed 4-year deal worth $34.65 million. The Bears might absorb part of his remaining salary or structure a new extension to make the deal more palatable. Houston might even include some sort of player-friendly clause to facilitate the trade. Ultimately, both sides are motivated: Houston to accelerate their rebuild, Chicago to finally solidify their defense, and the stars seem aligned for this to happen. Now the fit, oh, it's perfect. Coach Johnson's aggressive, pressman style perfectly complements Stingley's skill set. His ability to lock down receivers, jump routes, and create turnovers fits seamlessly into their defensive philosophy. Think of him as the piece that completes their puzzle, a true CB1 who can lock down even the league's best in critical moments. His ceiling under Johnson's scheme? Sky high. With the kind of coaching and system support, Stingley could become a perennial All-Pro, perhaps even a Defensive Player of the Year candidate as early as next season. But let's not forget the risks. Every trade has them. Yes, Houston might regret parting with such a young talent. After all, he's only 24. If he suffers a major injury or doesn't adjust well to the Bears' system, some will call it a gamble. Conversely, the Bears gamble on his upside, betting that his talent and age will make him a cornerstone of their defense for years to come. Worst-case scenario: he becomes a solid player but not elite, and the Bears overpaid. But in my professional opinion, the upside vastly outweighs the downside. So what's the timeline? Expect whispers of negotiations intensifying over the next few weeks. The NFL's legal tampering window opens in early February, and I've heard that both teams are ready to pounce if the conditions are right. The draft, scheduled for late April, is the perfect place for this deal to be finalized, maybe even in the days leading up, as both sides want their roster plans sealed early. And don't be surprised if this trade sparks a flurry of moves, teams scrambling to adjust, GMs making last-minute pushes. In conclusion, this isn't just another move. It's a bold, strategic play by the Bears aiming to jump multiple tiers in one shot. The acquisition of Derek Stingley Jr. would be a statement. We're here to contend, we're here to dominate. It would redefine the franchise's identity, elevate the defense to elite status, and send shockwaves through the rest of the league. And mark my words, this story isn't over yet. The early signs point to something extraordinary happening in the coming weeks. Keep your eyes peeled because once this deal drops, everything changes. And trust me, when it's all said and done, the Chicago Bears will look back at this moment as the turning point that made history. Future Hall of Famers? Possible. A franchise-defining move? Without a doubt. So stay tuned, because the NFL's most explosive story of 2026 is just getting started.